Okay, folks, it's time to lighten up. We are gonna get lazy. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I want to start up a new series, so that is what we are going to do right here, right now. This one is all about being lazy. And I know there are going to be a bunch of other beauty channels that are all going to have strokes because I'm doing this. A lot of what I'm going to be doing here is probably going to be considered a faux pas in the beauty world, okay? But I have gotten to an age where I have decided I have flaws on my face, and I think I'd rather have that extra hour of sleep in the morning. So, if you feel like me, and you want a few lazy hacks, let's get right on into this. Now, there's a long list of reasons why you might want to be lazy. Like I stated, you may just want that extra hour of sleep in the morning and don't want to spend 4 hours putting your makeup on every morning. You may not want to spend the money on the 35 pounds of makeup that you need to apply to your face, or you need to apply to your face. You may have just gotten to a point in your life where you've decided that it isn't worth it because nobody but you cares. And the whole point of putting on makeup is to put it on for yourself. If you're not enjoying putting on your makeup anymore, then why do all that? So what we're going to do, obviously this isn't full glam. This is just for those days where you get up in the morning and you want to wear makeup, but you really don't want to spend a whole lot of time on it. Maybe it's the weekend and you just want to put on a little bit of makeup to feel good, but you don't really want to go full glam. Or maybe you're heading into the office and again, you really don't want to wear all the contouring and highlighting and all that stuff because in the office, nobody really cares as long as you look okay. Nobody really cares that you're perfectly contoured and perfectly highlighted and you've got 18 different shades of eyeshadow on your eyes to create the perfect look. Nobody really cares. So, we're going to kind of roll with that and we're going to create a couple of looks, and I'm going to do this over a couple of videos where we're going to discuss different ways that you can be a little bit more lazy with your makeup. I'll be honest, as I have stated in videos in the past, I don't always wear foundation. Actually, I rarely wear foundation. I do have my concealers and my foundations and my color correctors and, you know, all that good stuff. You guys have seen all that. And I have all my favorites. And I have my favorites, and that's all I have. I don't have a selection of 40 different foundations that I'm willing to try. I don't have 35 different concealers. I don't have all of that. I have one that I like, and I keep that around because I do use them. There are some days if you're having a special event at work, if you've got special clients coming in, if you're in sales, you know, it's one of those things you probably don't have to wear foundation every day. And I know, like I said, I probably just gave a whole lot of you a stroke by saying that. The fact of the matter is, once you get to a certain age in your life, you just kind of say, and I'm there. I turned 37 a month ago, and I'm at a point where my face is red, I still have pimples. Oh well. So let's go ahead and get into this. First things first, what we're going to be talking about today is we're going to be talking about the eyes. It's usually going to be about the eyes, because I have found that if I decide that I don't want to wear a whole load of makeup on my face, I'll usually do my eyes and kind of go with that. And the reason I do the eyes is pretty much just to kind of give yourself a little bit more life in your eyes without having to pile on all this makeup to hide every aspect of your face that is there and I've embraced. So what we're going to do is we're just going to add a little bit of color and move on with our lives. These are things that you can kind of do within like a 5 to 10 minute period rather than spending an hour or two putting on your makeup. So, being the eyes, there are two things that you are certainly going to have to put on. Whether you like it or not, unfortunately. You're going to have to put on eye primer and you're going to have to put on some kind of all-over eyeshadow. What I usually do when I'm going for the lazy eye look is I pick something that's skin toned. Okay, let me see, what did I bring? For today's looks, what I'm going to be using is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette, and I am going to be using this color right here, which is called Tempera. Out of this palette, that's the closest one to my skin tone. So I'm going to be using that, and I'm actually going to use the whole lid and actually all the way up to the eyebrow. Now, the reason I'm doing that is because some of the other stuff that I'm going to be using as a standalone eyeshadow, that's going to help to prevent transfer, because as you can see, I've got very hooded eyelids. So I don't want to end up putting something on my lid and then having it, you know, 2-3 hours later be all the way up to my eyebrow. So we'll put that on. That's supposed to help with transfer. Okay, so we're going to pretend I have eye primer on because I'm going to be changing my eyes so many times. I'm not going to waste my eye primer on this, so we're going to pretend that I've got eye primer on. And I'm going to use a little bit of this Tempera, and I'm just going to sweep it all over. Now, truth be told, if what you want to do is just kind of look healthy, you can put this on and put maybe a little bit of mascara on and go to work. Because it evens out the color on your eyelids and kind of takes away that red, I woke up on the wrong side of the bed look. What would probably help is if I peeled this thing off the mirror. Like I said, if you're running a little bit late and don't have the time to put makeup on or something like that, you just want to look healthy, you can go ahead and just put on that base eyeshadow and kind of go from there. I would recommend putting something else with it. Either some eyeliner or a little bit of mascara, something along those lines, but at least put that on so that it evens out the skin tone of your eyes. Kind of hides, I know I'm a little veiny up there, so it hides a little bit of the veininess. I'm a little oily as well. It kind of cuts away on the shine on my eyelids, and I just kind of look awake and ready to start the day. Now, one of the things that I always used to use for just an all-over eyeshadow would be some kind of liquid eyeshadow. Now, the one that I have here is actually from Butter London. I love these. Unfortunately, I discovered them when they discontinued them. So, Butter London no longer makes these, but you can get, there's a whole bunch of them out there right now that are just like this. I think, what is it, Dior makes some, but you can get a lot of them, I think Maybelline, Elf, there's a lot of them in the drugstores. So you can get something like this and just use that. And they're pretty easy because literally it's a little doe foot applicator. Put it on your eyes, clean it up, and go. Okay, let's take a look at this and see. Now, I would let it set because, especially with the Butter London, I have found it's a nice metallic-y color and it goes on nice and even, but it will transfer really, really easily. So what I used to do is I used to go ahead and put a little bit of powder on there. Just a little bit of matte powder, but the only problem is that this is a metallic-y color. Oh, it is very sticky. And I'm assuming they all are sticky because I don't use a whole lot of these. I've got this particular one from Butter London, which is twigged, and I have another one that's like a light green, which I didn't bring in here. But I would put a little bit of setting powder on to take away that sticky feeling and to also prevent the transfer. But what that does is it takes away that shiny metallic look and kind of makes it a matte. So if you have a problem with the matte colors, I wouldn't put anything on top of it. But you are risking a little bit more transfer. I don't know how the other ones are. Like I said, all I have used so far has been the Butter London. This does transfer. I don't know how the other ones are going to react. So you probably want to keep your eyes open to let it dry or put a little bit of powder on it. You could also use another kind of liquid eyeliner, which would be something like this out of a pot that you could apply with your finger. And again, you've got this nice metallic-y look. And I know I have reviewed these. I think these are from Butter London. but I'm not 100% sure. It doesn't say anywhere on here, and I just don't remember because I have the memory of a goldfish. But this is what this stuff looks like in the pot. You can apply this to your eyes with a finger and just kind of go, and it does leave a very metallic-y look. Get just a little bit on your finger like that. And then this is very, very metallic-y. Now, obviously, you can use a brush if that makes you feel better. You can use a brush, but it's going to make cleaning it a real trip. And I get a finger in there to clean up because I made a mess. So, the only real problem I have with the stuff that comes in a little pot like that is that it really is quite a mess. So it does take just a little bit longer to get that cleaned up, but it also dries super fast. This particular stuff is not going to go anywhere. This is what you got going on here. It's a mess, so I would have to clean that up a little bit. And I can't do it with my fingers anymore because it is dry. This particular one, there's no tacky feeling like I had with the other stuff. So this one's pretty dry, it's pretty solid, it stands on its own, and it doesn't transfer. And that stuff isn't going anywhere. It isn't going to move all day long. See, this is still tacky. It's been several minutes and that's still tacky. This isn't tacky at all. This dries almost instantly, which is great, except when you screw it up like I did and kind of smear all over your face, and you kind of look a little crazy. But you just clean it up and you can go from there. Or you can go ahead and apply it with a brush. The other problem with those little pots is that there is a lot of glitter in them, and while the stuff comes off fairly easy, you are going to end up with glitter all over your face. So, oh, Lord Almighty. Right now, I just kind of look like a children's art project. Okay, well, I desperately need to wash my face to get all that glitter off, but I'm not going to do that right now. Okay, so there are other options. Let's talk about some of those. And we are going to go right back to the Modern Renaissance palette. Now, again, I'm going to put that tempera all over my eyes, just to give that nice little matte look. And right now I'm using the brush that actually came in the palette. It's not the greatest brush on earth, but it's also not the worst. So it works for what I'm trying to do right now. So that I'm putting on my lid and up to my eyebrow. Okay, now this part of it you can actually have a little bit of fun with. If you want to pull out another palette, you can. It depends on how much color or how little color you want to go with. I am going to go with just a standard brown, just so that we can kind of play with it and go from there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a smudge brush, and I am going to go for this color right here, which is Antique Bronze. And this is what we're going to do with it. We're going to take the brush and just dab just a little bit so that you've got something like that right in the corner of the eye. Drop it all off there and then bring it up into the crease just a little. And because I've got aging skin, I am skipping, so I'm going to bring it back just a little. Okay, I'm not getting the desired effect, so I'm going to put a little bit more. Come up with it. Just like this. And I'm not continuing to dab in there, and I'm just cutting into my crease a little bit, and I'm literally shading my eye. Okay, just like that. Now, from here, you can either run with that, or you can go ahead and put on some winged eyeliner, put on some standard eyeliner, or you can go with a little bit darker color with this brush, which is what I'm going to do. Just a little bit like that, okay? Right at the middle of the eye. Bring it over to the side. Maybe put just a little bit in the lash line. as well, just to add a little bit of depth. Now I'm using the Cypress Umber for this part, which is the dark brown on the end. And I'm just going to screw up my eyeshadow really badly. Okay, I screwed up my eyeshadow, so we're gonna make my eyeshadow on the top just a little bit thicker to cover up my mistake. Or, if you have the time, you can take it off and start over again, which I'm not going to do because I don't have the patience for that. I regularly make my eyeliner too thick on the top, so I just run with it. Like I've said in previous videos, I am really bad with eyeliner, especially on the top eyelid. I have no idea why, but I have always been bad at it. Now, I have, as I stated earlier, I have hooded eyelids. I don't do winged eyeliner because it does not look good on me. When I wing it out, it just makes my eyes look really freaky, so I just kind of close it off in the corner, and I bring everything together right in the corner just to connect the lower and the upper lash lines, and I go out like that. Maybe a little bit of mascara. If you're a fake eyelash person, go ahead and put your fake eyelashes on at this point and go. What this does is it gives you a little bit of depth to your eyes, as you can see. Makes your eye look a little bit bigger, a little bit more shapely. Gives you a little healthy, awake look. Do this, go to work, and you look fine. Now, if you want to soften it up a little bit, you can do that with your smudge brush. Just come back in and smudge it, but do so very, very carefully, because you don't want to send that all over your lid. And there you go. Just like that. And again, it isn't perfect. I'm not a makeup artist. I'm just like you. I'm just a chick with some makeup. But this is one of the looks that I go for, and this is something similar to what I usually do if I'm doing a job interview or something along those lines. Now, what you can also do with this look, go for a more bold lipstick instead. You can do a nice bright red, something along those lines, and run with it, make your lips the focal point, and make your eyes just look bigger and awake. Okay guys, that's going to do it for this episode. If you like this series, please let me know in the comments below. I would like to keep doing this series. I do have a nice little playlist down on my channel page if you want to see the rest of them once we get a few more episodes under our belt. But if you do like it, please let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe. I do try to make at least one video every week, and I'll see you next time, guys. Stay lazy.